welcome back to the Santa Marta Designs YouTube channel. Tonight we have a Woodland Ruffle wreath coming at you. So welcome, welcome. My name is Kathy and we're going to do an awesome project tonight. I'm going to get you guys zoomed in a little bit so that you can better see what's going on here. So we're working with a 14-inch wreath base. Metal wreath base, and it's from the Dollar Tree, our favorite store, the Dollar Tree. Alright, let's zoom you guys in just a little bit. Alright, so I think that's better. So that way you guys can see a little bit better. Alright, I'll keep up the zoom here just in case you guys want me to zoom in any bit more. But I think that's going to be alright for the rest of the night. Alright, so if you're new to our channel, welcome, and we love for you to subscribe to our channel. Subscriptions are always free, so if you hit that little subscribe button and hit that little bell notification icon, it will let you know every time we're live on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock, just so you get a little reminder. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off our tag to our Dollar Tree form here. And so, special treat, we are actually going to do our pipe cleaners together tonight, okay? Normally I have this all set up for you guys, and we just go ahead and start slapping our mesh on. So let's count out 18 ties. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is going to be for the bottom half of our wreath, and then we're going to need 8 more, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, so I know you're probably wondering what kind of wreath we are doing tonight. So our new thing that we are doing, at least for the summer season, is we are only going to be doing one project a week. So we are learning how to break down projects into 2 different time frames so that people can actually do things rather than doing them in one sitting. They can do them in multiple sittings, okay? So we have this lovely mesh, which I just put back on the roller, so let me take it back out so you can see it. So this beautiful striped, oh, it's a broad striped mesh. I was looking for navy and white, but I had already used my navy and white on a different beach project. So black and white is going to have to suffice for us tonight. So black and white mesh. This is actually a jute poly mesh. Really, really nice mesh to work with because it actually has fabric layers woven into the mesh here. So it's a really soft but sturdy mesh. Holds up really, really well. Doesn't have a lot of flimsiness to it. And it's not really a mesh that you would have issues like seeing a lot through. So that's our mesh color. We, on another night, are going to work with our ribbon tails, which we've selected more of a natural and dark tone. So, and we're going to do something special with this window pane ribbon here. So this window pane ribbon, we are actually going to make a faux bow out of it, along with these other items in our ribbon tails. There won't be a bow on this wreath because there's just going to be a lot going on, because once I show you what the actual attachments are going to be, I'm like, whoa, what? How's she going to put that on a wreath, right? So we have this egret. I think it's an egret. I'm going to call it an egret for lack of other designation on what this bird could be, but it looks like an egret to me. And then we have this really nice, on a wooden backed base, we have this word beach spelled out in rope. So love, love, love this. We're going to make it look like so that the egret is picking at the beach word, and this is all going to get attached to our entire wreath base, okay? So as you can see, we already have a lot that's going to go on, so there's not going to be enough room for a bow, or that I feel like we're going to need a bow. So let's get started on our ties. So we separated our piles. 8 is going to be for the top, 10 is for the bottom. All right, so let's start putting these on. So if you are new to our channel or here, just come on and say hello. Let me know where you're from. We always like to say hi to our viewers. So where I like to start putting these on is these sections that cross here are called crossbars, okay? And on these Dollar Tree frames, they are a little bit raised, almost like a half moon off the surface. But you have basically 4 rungs. So 2 on the bottom, 2 on the inside. Okay, so we're going to call this the bottom, this the top or inside. So I like to start off with this crossbar, and I wrap the pipe cleaner around this first section of the first bottom 2 rungs, okay? And then in order to secure it, you can actually wrap this around one of the bottom or the top rungs. And then all you're going to do is wrap this and give this a real tight squeeze and then a twist, okay? You don't want to squeeze it so that your base actually breaks. I've never broken a base because I'm not that strong, but there are people that have snapped their bases. Superhuman strength, right? So the next tie, people always wonder, where does your next tie go? It's about 3 to 4 inches down from that tie, okay? So I like to always match up my ties so that they're kind of nice and even. And then if you're always wondering, you can kind of just push this down, and wherever that next falls, you're going to kind of just push that in a little bit of a hair there, and then again squeeze, so if you can almost see that dents in, and then you're going to twist this, and I give it a couple of good twists, okay? 2 to 3 is good enough. These I leave open because once we start putting in our mesh, we're going to work with the bottom layer first, so I don't have to reopen everything, okay? So again, if you're always concerned on where to go, you can kind of put that down, see where it goes. So we're just going to start pushing these on. And I will tell you, I still make a mistake on these that, you know, it looks like I've actually put some of them a little bit too close together, or one's a little too far apart, and it's okay in the end. You really probably don't even need to fix it because no one is going to see it. So that is the best forgiving part, is that you really won't even notice if you screwed up about an inch or so on the twist ties, okay? Call them twist ties, pipe cleaners. So it's nice when you get a crossbar because then you have a little bit more support to attach your pipe cleaner to. And if you don't like these kind of wreath bases, you can buy them already pre-made with twist ties already on them, and they're actually metal. So they're called pre-made or prefabricated bases. You can get them at your online craft stores. Sometimes your local stores will have them. Not always, but if you're at a place like Carolina Pottery, things like that, those places do typically have actually wreath bases. But for the most part, you don't always see them at a place like Joann's Fabrics or Michael's. Not a ton, sometimes, but not a ton. Just, I guess, depends on which area you live in sometimes. Okay, so our bottom is done, and that is 10. So I separated them out just so that we would know and make sure that we had 10, but we can always count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're good. And let's just make sure we have 8 ties here. 3, 6, 7, 8. Great. So when I go to the top, I like to find a spot that we can kind of put them intermittent, so that I'm not going to put them right on top of one another. So this is a good spot to start. I have 2 ties here, and then one is going to start right here. So that way we have a better chance that the rest of our ties are going to fall in an intermittent area as well. Okay, so let's just continue on with that. So tonight our project is going to consist of actually constructing our wreath base, and our wreath base in the form of our mesh. And then our next video or live that we'll do, it will either be a video or a live, but the next time we're on, we're trying to schedule things out. I don't know that we can get here any earlier than Thursdays, but we're going to try for the rest of the summer. And we will actually be showing how to put on the rest of our attachments and our ribbon tails. So it'll be a good one. You don't want to miss that one either. Okay, because it's not going to be your typical sign and attachments that you put on your wreath forms. So you won't want to miss that one either. So this one, we're already looking like we're already a little too far apart. So I'm just going to come on this side, put one here. Okay. And then make it so that this one, oops, I missed our second rung there. All right. Hey, hey, Angie. All right. So that's what I like to do is I like to push my inner ones, inner ties down so until I start to work on them so they don't start getting in the way and nitpicking everything. All right, so now it's time to, let's learn about how to do the Woodland Ruffle method, okay? I love, love, love the Woodland Ruffle method because it combines two methods that I do like, but I don't like to do them separately. So we're just going to raise up our wreath base here so we can make some room for you guys to see. And we're just going to make sure that we're still in camera here. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is the way your mesh naturally wants to work. It naturally wants to curl and roll. So what I like to do is find something semi-heavy to put on one side of your mesh. It could be your scissors, it could be your rotary cutter. Just make sure it's closed. Please don't cut yourselves. I usually do use my rotary cutter just because it slides off really nicely. My scissors are a little bit heavier. So these are cut at 30 inches long. And let me tell you, I've used anywhere between 25 inches long to 36 inches long. So we do need 2 rolls of 10-inch mesh to do this tonight, cut at 30 inches. And you'll have a little bit left of the first one. And then the second one, you'll probably have about a quarter to a little bit more than a quarter of your mesh roll left, okay? I've done them even longer because sometimes I like to just get rid of the rolls. I don't like to have leftover. So you do as you want, but these are cut at 30 inches tonight. No particular reason, I just felt like I didn't need to waste the whole rolls. I might have something I could use with the other pieces. So one side, you can either take something like, if you have an empty mesh roll, you know those little pieces of cardboard that come in your mesh, if you have a hard time making a little roll, you can use this and then just start and curl, and maybe curl about 3 to 4 times, okay? You can slide this out. It does make your curl a little bit thicker, and I like to make them a little bit thinner. So you could use this, or you could use a small dowel, anything that you have if you need help. But I really like to just use my fingers, set that aside, and just really, I like to make a really tight curl at first, okay? And then literally just curl about 3 to sometimes anywhere between 3 to 5 times. And my key to have, I like to have is handy as clothespins, okay? You can use a chip clip. You can use like clips like these big old springy paper clip type things. So once you curl one side, you're going to leave this clipped, spin it around, okay? And then you're going to do the same thing on the next side. And again, so I like to do it really tight and then curl about 3 to 4, maybe 5 times, anywhere between 3 to 5. You can move this aside, and what's really good about this is that it has 2 broad stripes in the middle here. So this is a great mesh that you can use to go ahead and scrunch this up as a ruffle, and know if you're kind of in the middle or if you're veering off to the side a little bit, okay? And then what I like to do is when I'm done with them, I like to just kind of push them out like into a fan and see if they look like they're good, or did I kind of veer off too far and does it look like it needs to be fixed. So we're going to make about, I think, 3 bundles together. So that's 1. I like to do them in bundles. You can attach them right onto your wreath base if you want, but I like to do them in bundles. So that's one bundle, and I have the rest of our bundles already made for us tonight, because it's kind of a bore to watch me just make bundles all night. So watching 3 of them, I think you'll get the hang of it. So again, start at the bottom. I like to curl tight, and again, you don't have to, but about 3 to 4, maybe sometimes 5 curls. I take a clothespin, pin that side down, spin it around, and then this next side, again, just repeat what you did on the first side, about 3, anywhere to 3 to 5 curls. And then you're left with about a foot and a half in between here. If you want a smaller ruffle, then you would curl this more and leave less in between, okay? So then again, I like to do where I'm kind of going up and pulling down at the same time. I found that that is my preferred method. Some people just like to scrunch their hands up. Some people like to scrunch the whole mesh down. There's no right or wrong. And then again, I like to just open that up and it looks like a really pretty fan almost. Okay, so this is the last one we're going to do together. All right, so again, tight curl, curl about 3 to 5 times. Oops, ran out of clothespins. I pin it, spin it, and then repeat. Okay, so pin it, spin it, repeat. Alright, so about 3 to 5 times. You can move this over. You can leave it there unless your mesh is getting really curly. And then just scrunch your hands up, okay? Use your fingers to do the walking, okay? But you can use the base of or palm of your hand to support if you have hand issues. So that's number 3, okay? So now let's start putting this on. So there's 2 ways you can put these on. You can either, when you let this go, you can either put them on so that the bow tie, looks like a bow tie, right? The bow tie goes side to side, or so that the bow tie goes up and down and your curls go out that way. My personal preference is this way, where it looks like a real bow tie, like on a shirt. And that's what we're going to do, just because it's my preference, but you on your wreath can do something different. And I just gave it about 3 twists and we're locked in, okay? So we're going to do all 18. Now, typically, if you've watched me do these wreaths before, I like to do at the same time is our ribbon tails. But guess what? We're going to do a new process this summer, like I said, that sometimes we just don't have all that time to devote to do one whole wreath in one night, okay? So it's okay. We can come back and just put in what our missing pieces are the next time we sit back down, or stand, because I'm technically standing, stand to put the rest of our wreath together, okay? So, you know, some people have medical conditions. They can only do things in spurts, or you have time constraints. You know, you've got to get your kids to soccer practice. Well, right now it's right now during our pandemic is a little bit different with having different responsibilities, things to do. But either way, you could have family you have to go visit, parents you might need to take care of, a dog you might have to go walk. Everyone has different responsibilities and different time constraints. So you would still be able to do a beautiful wreath if you don't have more than an hour. Even if you have 15 minutes at a time, you could cut your mesh tonight, cut all your 18 mesh pieces, okay? And then if you had another 15 minutes tomorrow, I promise you, once you start rolling these and getting used to it, you could make your bundles in about 15-20 minutes, okay? Because I did. I did. It took me about 15-20 minutes before we came on. to make almost all these bundles, and I left some for us to do together. Okay. So again, I chose black tonight because I could have gone with white or I could have gone with tan, but I chose black just because it will be a nice little contrast against our ribbons once we put our ribbon tails in. And where the mesh meets together, I like to make sure they're kind of just butting up against each other and not overlapping, okay? Overlapping would be a little bit different of a method, less mesh as well, less ties. So tonight we are going to be doing the Woodland Ruffle method. Again, our mesh is cut at 30 inches each piece. We have 10 ties on the bottom and 8 ties on the inside or top, we call it. So then I just collect my clothespins to the side there and just keep them clipped to one of my little light wires here. You can put them in a bag or a little basket, you know. They're very inexpensive at the dollar store, so you can get a big bag of them for probably $1, but sometimes it's a little bit more. So we are coming close to the end on our bottom row here. So that means we've done about 9 ties. We're going to go into number 10. Okay. And look how pretty that already looks with the black and the white with that broad white stripe. Really, really pretty. And again, then we'll come back another night and attach our beach sign and our egret. So you don't want to miss how we're going to attach our egret, okay? Because a lot of people have this misconception that you can only put like these metal signs or something on your wreath because it's something you need to poke a hole in. Oh, not necessarily. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the inside ties. Don't worry, our glue pot is not on. That's hard as a rock. So your inside ties are going to probably give you the most grief to get at and tie up, okay, because you already have one layer of mesh on. It's going to be a competing factor to put the two into a nice marriage together, but I promise they will play nice, okay? And it doesn't really matter which direction you go, if you go left, you go right, as long as you get it in the tie. And maybe it's just me, but I find, like I say, the inside, for me at least, is the one that causes me the most grief, just because, again, you've already got the layer in here and you're competing for space where it doesn't want to go. So we have about 5 more to do together, or 6 more maybe, 6 more. I think we've only done 2. And you got to be careful what clothes you wear when you're working with mesh. Don't wear something that you wouldn't want ruined. Even if you think it's the smoothest of mesh, it may just pick at you. Pick at your clothes, and sometimes it can be frustrating that you're stuck on your mesh and pulled a really nice shirt. Okay. So anybody have any questions? I know since we're live, we can answer these now. If anybody has any questions instead of, or if you want to message me, that's also fine. People aren't comfortable asking them here. But we are all friends, I promise. I'll switch my view here so I can actually see comments. Okay. And it's really easy to skip a tie almost. So you just have to keep an eye out, making sure you're not missing one and skipping by accident. It's much easier to not miss a tie if you are alternating colors on your mesh, because then you can tell if there is blue or yellow or green coming next, because you are alternating. But this here, since we're doing all the same color, it can get quite easy to lose track where you left off and where you need to be. Okay. So these pipe cleaners are nothing special to these pipe cleaners. They are just Dollar Tree pipe cleaners, or wherever I can find them the cheapest. Sometimes, you know, you get those really great coupons for 50% off something, or this or that, or a bulk buy of something, then that's when I buy them. And I buy them in all different colors, because for me, these don't go bad and they get used up pretty quickly. Oops, we're knocking things over. Not good to knock over the battery pack. So we've got 2 more ties. And then we are going to be done for the night, guys. Okay. And again, so you could probably do this even faster, since, you know, I slowed down just to go ahead and show everyone a little bit better what we're doing. So we have 1 more tie there, so it doesn't even look like, if you just close that up, like we would need one, right? So that's why I say sometimes if you don't have enough mesh to make 18 pieces, don't even stress, because no one is probably even going to notice if you just place everything in the right way, okay? So maybe you're using a leftover roll and there's only enough for 17 ties. You just got to strategically place everything, that's all. Okay, so when you get to the spot that's the very end, you really got to make sure and come around to every single piece of mesh angle and make sure that everyone is playing nicely and not trying to overpower anybody. Okay, so look how beautiful that face is with the black and the white. You could use this for multiple different things. So you could use this for Halloween. You could actually even use this for fall. You could use this for a summer wreath with, oh, this would make a beautiful watermelon wreath base as well. Can you see the sign again? Absolutely. Sorry, I did only show it once. So the sign that we're going to attach, so these are 2 separate pieces. This egret is actually, I just kind of shoved her in here. Let's try and get her back out. I was playing around with how I wanted to place her. So, whoops, there we go. So this beach sign is separate. So this beach sign is going to get placed on here on our next session here. And then we're going to intertwine this egret in with the beach sign so that it's almost looking like it's picking at the beach word. Okay. And then I will show you again the ribbon tails that we're going to use. So we're going to go with the black and natural look. So we've got this natural, almost burlap type material. We've got this window pane. This window pane, we're going to do something cute. I feel like we're going to do something different there. We've got this natural and black medium striped, and then we've got this one as well that we will probably use is this white and natural stripe. So we're very likely going to work in between a conjunction of those 4 ribbons at our next session, and adding those into the mesh. All right. Any other questions tonight? Just wait a minute, because I know there's a little bit of a delay. And then I know you guys were very interested in learning about our wreath attachments, so there's going to be more coming out on that as well. I'm going to try and put some things together that maybe we can learn a little bit, or show and tell a little bit at least. So more to come on that. I'll have to plan within the next couple of weeks on what we can do. But more to come on that. And then in the interim, this is what we'll be doing tonight until then. All right, doesn't look like we have any other questions. Thank you, Angie. I enjoyed coming on with you guys tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't hit our little subscribe button, please go ahead and do so, along with that little bell notification icon, so you know when we're live every Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, be well, be safe, and we'll see you again soon. Kathy here from Santa Marta Designs. Have a great night.